Come on, my cunts. How much farther?
Is your boss gonna let my team go?
Pal, life is tough. Even tougher when you're stupid. And it's...
I swear to God, drop it now!
Okay.
One more fucking step and he gets it! Down!
Okay.
Fucking rifle, cowboy! Put it down!
Vintage Red Ryder.
The movie kicks off with a group of masked criminals storming a small convenience store. They burst in with guns drawn, threatening everyone inside and forcing the terrified customers and employees to lie down as hostages. They demand cash from the store owner, and to make matters worse, they discover a police officer who had been inside by chance. Fortunately, the officer had already managed to call for backup before the robbery escalated. Within minutes, multiple police units surround the building. One of the responding officers attempts to negotiate with the robbers, but they refuse to cooperate. Realizing the situation is spiraling out of control, the authorities call in the SWAT team. Once the SWAT team arrives, their leader, Tate, takes over the negotiations through the radio, trying to talk the criminals into surrendering. The robbers remain defiant, leaving Tate no choice but to authorize an assault. He assigns 3 of his trusted teammates, Blanco, Jannard, and Hunt, to slip inside quietly. With precise coordination and advanced tactics, the team neutralizes the robbers one by one.
Are we good?
The fucking rifle, cowboy! Put it down!
The mission succeeds, but not without collateral damage. Some hostages are injured, and the store is left in shambles. Nevertheless, the SWAT officers exit the scene feeling victorious, having eliminated the immediate threat. The next day, their confidence is short-lived when their superior summons them for a debrief. Instead of praise, the team is reprimanded for the chaos they caused. The boss criticizes the fact that the suspects ended up dead, innocent people were hurt, and the store owner suffered heavy losses. As a result, the team is forced to attend a refresher course on hostage rescue procedures. During the training, the instructor tries to share safer strategies, but Tate and his crew, believing their real-world experience trumps classroom theory, barely pay attention. Frustrated, the instructor abandons the session and walks out. The story then shifts focus to a criminal named Demetrius and his associate, Ilya, who have captured a man named Kenny. With a gun pointed at him, Kenny finally caves and tells them where a valuable stash is hidden, inside a hangar. As Demetrius and Ilya head there with Kenny, a sleek black car pulls up, carrying Lamp One and his partner. Tensions rise when the two groups draw their weapons on each other, but after a brief standoff, they realize they are after the same stash. Deciding it's better to cooperate than fight, they form a temporary truce. Suddenly, the sound of approaching police sirens sends everyone into a panic. They duck into the back of their vehicles, convinced the cops are onto them. However, the sirens belong to Tate's SWAT team, which has arrived at the hangar for a routine training exercise, unaware of the criminals hiding inside. Tate briefs Jannard, Blanco, and Hunt, then gears up with them for the drill. As they enter, their heavy movements and loud preparations only heighten Demetrius and Lampone's paranoia. Convinced they're about to be raided, they pressure Kenny to talk faster. The tension explodes into violence when shots are fired. Hearing the gunfire, Tate orders Blanco to investigate, but Blanco is ambushed and fatally shot. As Blanco's life slips away, his reflexes involuntarily cause him to discharge his firearm into the air, alerting his team to the imminent threat. Realizing the situation is deteriorating, Tate makes the quick decision to descend and assess the unfolding danger. Meanwhile, the criminals quickly discern that Blanco's rifle was loaded with blank rounds, rendering the police force essentially powerless. Despite Blanco's death, the pressure hasn't yet cornered the criminals, leading them to form an alliance in order to eliminate the police and make a clean escape. As the standoff intensifies, Tate and his team realize that the criminals are aware of their ammunition's true nature. In response to a sudden command from Tate, the police retreat upstairs, barricading themselves behind a heavy vault door, leaving the criminals outside. Without their communication gear, which was left in their vehicle, they have no way to call for help and must improvise to survive. Meanwhile, Demetrius, determined to secure the stash, summons reinforcements. Ilya commandeers a SWAT vehicle to bring in weapons and communication devices, while more of Demetrius' allies arrive to reinforce their position. As the standoff escalates, Tate seizes an opportunity to sneak to the SWAT truck for more weapons. There, he surprises a criminal guarding Kenny, subdues him, and rescues Kenny. Back inside, Tate reunites with his team, only to discover one of Demetrius' men has infiltrated the upper floor and is attacking Jannard. Tate neutralizes the threat and begins piecing together the situation. Kenny admits the criminals are hunting for a specific item he hid and reveals a possible escape route through an underground passage. While Tate and his crew regroup, Lamp One calls in another ally, Pharaoh, for backup. Soon, Pharaoh and his men arrive, further complicating the situation. Tate and his team attempt to use the underground exit, but they're intercepted by Demetrius and his gang, who capture Kenny and corner the SWAT officers. Tate narrowly avoids execution by convincing Demetrius that Kenny no longer has the item they're after. Meanwhile, Lampone's crew successfully kidnaps Kenny, Hunt, and Jannard, believing they've finally secured the stash. When they open the suitcase, however, it's empty. Hunt had secretly moved the goods. The power struggle intensifies as Pharaoh's men confront Demetrius' gang, forcing an uneasy alliance between Tate and Demetrius to fight back. Freed from his cuffs, Tate works alongside Demetrius' crew to storm out of the hangar under heavy gunfire. Inside the tunnel, Hunt manages to kill Storado and races back to the tunnel's entrance. There, he ambushes Lamp One, freeing Jannard. Tate crashes the truck into the scene, igniting another intense shootout. The battle reaches a fever pitch when Hunt detonates an explosive, obliterating one of Lampone's vehicles and wiping out most of his gang in the blast. Just when it seems the tide has turned, Demetrius betrays Tate's team, holding them at gunpoint. But the tables flip again when Lamp One, having survived the explosion with Pharaoh, ambushes Demetrius and takes him hostage. In a final, desperate confrontation, Pharaoh prepares to execute the SWAT team. Thinking fast, Tate requests earplugs, then detonates a sonic device that incapacitates their enemies. Pharaoh attempts to flee, leading to a brutal hand-to-hand fight between him and Tate. Using a heavy iron bar, Tate overpowers Pharaoh and secures him. With the criminals subdued and the sought-after items recovered, Tate, Hunt, and Jannard finally emerge from the chaos. In the aftermath, they sit together, aware that their boss will probably reprimand them for the destruction they caused. Yet, when the call finally comes the next day, it isn't criticism they hear but condolences for Blanco's death and recognition of their courage. Despite this, he brings up one final issue, an allegation that the SWAT team had mistreated a federal agent during the operation. Just then, Kenny enters the room, revealing that both he and Lamp One were undercover agents involved in a covert operation to recover the briefcase from the clutches of the Russian and Italian mobs. The SWAT team, stunned by this revelation, reluctantly accepts the unexpected twist, and they eventually return to their normal duties. The contents of the mysterious briefcase, however, remain a secret, forever undisclosed.